Hello everyone, my name is Thomas, and I'm here to review a book called Mass Effect Deception, written by William C. Dietz. It's a fictional sci-fi book that takes place in our galaxy far in the future, where we find aliens that are capable of jumping through space into different solar systems. Now before I continue this review, I have to say this is the third book of three, and suggest you read the other two first, or at least the second book, otherwise you won't really understand Mass Effect Deception at all. Also in this review, I'll be covering a few of the main characters and what I liked about what the author did with them, my favorite part, and my opinion about the novel overall. Anyways, to start, we have our main characters who all have different roles throughout the book and all have their own backstory. We have David Anderson, who is a strong, courageous man that works as a human military soldier and has many roles to play within the novel. David is a leader within the entire book and inspires those around him, even under pressure, to keep them going even when all hope seems lost, which is really inspiring, even if he is a fictional character. Next we have Gillian Grayson, who is a young, independent teenager that you see grow and develop throughout the whole book. From a lone, quiet child, we see Gillian develop into a rage, revenge-seeking monster, becomes desperate for the revenge of her father's death. She becomes more devious the further you read along, and Gillian comes up with an intricate plan to kill the man who stole the life of her father. These parts involving Gillian were quite interesting to read about. Lastly, we have our cool antagonist, Kai Lang, who is a space ninja that is mostly a mystery throughout the whole book. You barely get to know about him, and only know that he has a job to assassinate Gillian Grayson, and he's going to see that it happens no matter what. Even near the end of the book, you only get to hear some of Kai Lang's history, but he still remains a mystery to the reader, which I think is pretty cool that the author did that. My thoughts on the author's characters are really neat, since he makes them all different and fun to read about throughout the whole book, especially since they all have different backstories and personalities to learn about. Next, I'd like to talk about my favorite part of the whole book, when Gillian Grayson goes totally berserk and almost gets herself killed. Upon trying to discover the whereabouts of her father, she finds herself at a nightclub called Afterlife. There she seeks an audience with the infamous Aria, who practically runs all of Omega, which is the giant space asteroid Gillian is currently on. When Gillian asks for an audience, she is denied and then goes insane and resorts to violent means to try and get Aria's attention. But instead, Gillian is greeted with an immense amount of backfire, and she just escapes after killing a few of Aria's best bodyguards, with the amazingly powerful telekinetic power she has. This part was action-packed and filled with suspense, since you wonder if Gillian will survive, since Aria's reputation as the most powerful pirate queen is present in the book, and she is known to have heavily armed bodyguards. Also, when Gillian escapes, I felt relieved and also wanting to read more, since the chapter ends right when Gillian gets away from the clutches of Aria, making this the reason this part is my favorite throughout the whole book. I really suggest you pick this book up if you like futuristic sci-fi novels that are action-packed, filled with suspense, and you like space ninjas. The author uses many different good ways to show how the characters develop, and their personalities, and other tricks in the book to make it interesting to read and making you want to read more. The book is decently long, so it should take about 2 weeks to finish if you read about 15 to 20 minutes a day. I really enjoyed it and found it really interesting. There are a few parts that felt boring, but were needed to make the plot understandable. I would give this book a 4.5 out of 5. I suggest you pick it up if you're interested in the concept, and thanks for watching, and have a nice day.